Okay, so yesterday I was reading something and I came across this phrase, spaced repetition. Have you ever heard of it?
Spaced repetition? That sounds like a dance move.
Right? But it's actually about how you study vocabulary. I'll share more in a bit. It's my favorite trick.
Now I'm really curious. Hey everyone, welcome to Cozy English. I'm Eric.
And I'm Jennifer. So today we're talking about how to actually learn vocabulary and make it stick.
Because most of us have written a word down, closed the notebook, and totally forgotten it the next day.
Every time. But by the end of today, you'll have real strategies you can start using right away.
And honestly, if you're somewhere between beginner and intermediate right now, this is the best time to really build your vocab.
It really is. Okay, so where do we even start?
Well, think of learning vocabulary like going to the gym.
Oh, I like this already.
One big session a week isn't going to cut it. Your memory, like your muscles, needs regular workouts.
So it's less about how hard you study and more about how often you come back to it.
Exactly. And research shows you need to see a word around 8 to 12 times before it really stays with you.
Wait, 8 to 12? I always thought 3 times was enough.
Same. I used to write it once and think I was done, but it's really about returning to it.
And it's not just reading the word, right? What counts as seeing it?
Reading it, hearing it, saying it yourself, using it in a sentence, all of those count as one encounter.
So every time you interact with a word in some way, that builds up.
Right. And some encounters count more than others. Actually using it in a real sentence, that's high value.
So quality matters too, not just how many times you've seen it.
Right. And 8 deep encounters beats 20 quick glances.
That actually makes sense. It's like getting to know someone. You don't really know them after one coffee.
You need a few more coffees.
So what does that look like? Like a schedule?
Yeah, one longer session a week, at least 30 to 45 minutes for new words.
And then?
Then 5 or 10 minutes every day, just revisiting them. That's your daily routine.
5 minutes? That's nothing. That's literally 1 cup of coffee.
Right. Short but regular. That's the whole point.
And in those daily 5 minutes, what's the most useful thing to do?
Go through words you already learned. Cover the meaning. Try to recall it. Don't add new ones.
So you're protecting the words you already have.
Yeah, like watering plants that are already growing. Okay, but here's something I always did wrong. I'd sit down and try to learn 20 new words in one session.
Oh, that's actually one of the most common mistakes.
Wait, really? I thought more was better.
So your brain has a limit. It can only really take in about 5 to 9 new items at once.
5 to 9? Wait, that's not a lot.
Right. So if you throw 20 words at it in one go, a lot of them just don't make it in.
They bounce off.
So it's better to take 8 or 10 words and really know them than 30 you kind of recognize.
Go slow, go deep.
Yeah, 10 words you can actually use beats 50 words you vaguely remember. Okay, so what do you actually do when you sit down with a new word?
First thing, say it out loud.
Out loud?
Yeah, not just in your head, actually hear yourself say it. Then repeat it quietly, just to yourself.
I usually just read it. I never actually say anything.
That's really common, but saying it out loud helps your mouth get used to the word.
Like muscle memory, but for speaking.
And honestly, sometimes you think you know a word, but then you say it and, wait, how do I actually say this?
Oh, that happens to me so often. I read a word for months and then say it completely wrong.
So check the pronunciation. Use a dictionary.
What kind? Bilingual or English only?
Bilingual is great when you're just starting. It's fast. You get the meaning in your own language.
And bilingual just means it uses two languages, like English and Spanish, in the same dictionary.
Right, but an English-only dictionary? I mean, you get so much more. Better examples, more natural sentences.
And it's good reading practice, too.
Yeah. Dictionaries like Cambridge Learners or Longman show pronunciation, part of speech, fixed phrases.
And you can use them on your phone now. The app is free, no excuse not to check.
Right, takes 10 seconds.
And dictionaries also show word partners, like make a decision versus do a decision.
Yes, those are collocations, words that naturally go together in English.
I used to say do a mistake, and my teacher would always correct me.
Haha, yeah, it's make a mistake. Collocations are one of those things that really help you sound natural.
It's not just what a word means, it's how it lives with other words.
Yeah, and honestly, those are the ones that embarrass you in conversation if you get them wrong.
And speaking of that, there's a trick I love. Learn a word and its whole family.
It's family?
Yeah. So frustrate is a verb, frustrated is an adjective, frustrating is another adjective, frustration is the noun.
So instead of one word, you get four, and they all share the same root.
Right, it's not 4 times harder. Your brain already knows the root, so it's kind of one effort.
And honestly, most dictionaries show the noun, verb, adjective, all on the same entry.
Right. And writing the whole family together in your notebook helps you see the connections.
So you can say, it's frustrating, or I feel frustrated, depending on what you need.
Yeah, you become flexible with the word.
Okay, can I share one more trick before we get to the notebook?
Yeah, go for it.
So this one sounds a little silly, but it really works. It's called a mnemonic.
A mnemonic, like a memory trick.
Yeah, a little hook, basically. Something that helps your brain hold on to a word.
Okay, how does it work?
You find something that sounds like the English word in your own language. Then you make a vivid image.
Give me an example.
All right. Revise. It kind of sounds like re-eyes, right? Like you're looking at something again with fresh eyes.
Oh, that's actually kind of clever.
And once you have that image, your brain holds on to it. People who use mnemonics remember words way better than people who just reread.
So you're giving your brain something to grab onto.
Yeah, and the weirder or funnier the image, the better. Your brain loves unusual things.
Okay, let me try. Give me a word.
Elaborate. It means detailed or complicated.
Elaborate. A lab, like an elaborate science lab. Machines everywhere. Super complicated.
Yes, now you're not going to forget that.
See, that's the whole thing. Your brain just needed something to hook onto.
You know, I really wish I'd had all of this explained to me earlier. I wasted so much time.
Oh, me too. Can I tell you something embarrassing?
Yes, please.
So, a couple of years ago, I was learning this word, overwhelming. I wrote it down, big letters, underlined it twice, very serious about it.
Very official.
And then I never opened that notebook again. A week later, gone. Completely gone from my memory.
Classic.
I had to look it up again, and I realized writing a word once is like meeting someone at a party.
And then never seeing them again after that night.
Exactly. You forget their name the next morning. You need to keep seeing them.
Ugh, I feel so called out right now. Okay, so what did you change?
I started going back. The next day, I'd open my notebook and just look at that word again.
Even for 30 seconds?
Even for 30 seconds. And that changes everything.
Because now you're at encounter 2 out of 12.
Yeah, you're on your way.
All right. So what does a good vocabulary notebook actually look like?
Organize it by topic, not one long random list.
Like all your food words, all your work words.
Right. It makes it so much easier to find things, and you start to see how words connect.
I used to just write words as I found them. Date, word, translation, pages and pages.
And it's impossible to review that way.
It really is. You can't even find the word again.
So, organize by topic. Next to each word, write the meaning. In your own language, if it helps.
Or a short explanation in English if you can manage it.
Right. And then one example sentence from your own life.
Not the cat sat on the mat.
No, something real. I felt overwhelmed on my first day at work.
Personal memories stick better. Your brain connects the word to something that actually happened.
You can also draw a little picture if you're visual like that.
Or add synonyms and opposites right next to the word.
And highlight anything that feels important or hard, so when you review, your eye goes straight to it.
The highlighter isn't just for decoration.
Haha, no. It's basically your notebook saying, hey, don't skip this one.
And you could do a little word map too, like a diagram?
Yes, put the word in the middle, connect it to synonyms, opposites, collocations.
So make in the center, and then make a mistake, make a decision, make a plan.
Right, like a visual web. Really helpful for seeing how one word connects to many situations.
Okay, here's something I've noticed. I recognize a lot of words when I read, but when I try to speak, they just disappear.
Oh, that's such a real thing. That's the difference between passive vocabulary and active vocabulary.
Passive and active?
Okay, so passive vocabulary. Those are words you understand when you hear or read them, but you can't quite produce them yet.
Right. And active vocabulary. Those are words you can actually produce, use in a sentence without thinking.
Right, and honestly, the gap is bigger than most people realize.
Huh. I never actually thought of it that way. But yeah, that's probably me.
Right, and the fix is actually pretty simple. When you test yourself, try going the other direction.
What do you mean?
Most people cover the English word and look at the translation. That builds passive vocab, recognition.
But if you cover the translation and try to say the English word from memory,
Now you're building active vocabulary, the kind that helps you actually speak.
like adequate. I know it when I see it, but would I say it in conversation?
Probably not yet, so try it. Say, this coffee is adequate, and now it's yours.
This coffee is adequate. That's such a useful example.
Simple sentence, real use, word moves from passive to active.
Okay, wait. That phrase you mentioned at the very start, spaced repetition. Tell me more.
Yes. Okay, here's the thing about revising vocabulary.
I mostly just reread my notes. Is that not enough?
Honestly, no rereading feels easy, and that's kind of the problem.
Wait, why is easy a problem?
Because your brain already sees the word right there. It doesn't have to work, so it doesn't really remember.
Oh, so easy isn't the same as effective.
So what actually works is cover the meaning. Try to remember it yourself. That's active recall.
Like a little self-quiz.
Yes, you're pulling the word from memory instead of just reading it. Your brain has to work harder.
And spaced repetition is doing this active recall at the right times.
Right. New word today, tomorrow, then 3 days later, then a week after that.
The gaps get longer each time.
Yeah, because if you still remember it after a week, your brain has decided it's worth keeping.
And if you forget?
You go back to day one. No stress. Your brain just needs more reps.
Is there a word for this natural forgetting over time? Like, it feels very predictable.
Yeah, it's called the forgetting curve. Your brain naturally loses information if you don't review it.
So forgetting is normal, not just me being bad at languages?
Totally normal. Everyone forgets. But reviewing at the right times slows the curve down.
So spaced repetition is basically fighting the forgetting curve.
Yeah, and the longer you can hold a word before it fades, the stronger the memory gets.
Can you use an app for this, or does it have to be paper?
Both work. Apps like Anki or Quizlet are built around spaced repetition. They schedule the reviews for you.
So it does the timing automatically.
Yeah, you just answer, and it decides when to show you that card again based on how well you did.
That's like a personal trainer for your vocabulary.
Haha, back to the gym.
Okay, one more thing, and I think this is the one most people skip.
What's that?
Actually using the word outside the notebook with a real person, or at least out loud.
Yes, that's where it really locks in.
Like, even if you're not 100% sure, just try.
Even texting a friend using the word counts, or saying it to yourself while you make coffee.
I feel overwhelmed today. Done.
Your brain treats that as a real use.
And the first time you use a new word with someone and they actually understand you,
It's so satisfying, like you own that word now.
it moves from your notebook to your actual voice.
That's when it becomes yours.
And something else that helps, just reading or listening to English you actually enjoy.
Yes, when you see a word in a real story or a podcast, it sticks differently.
Because it has context and maybe some emotion attached to it.
Yeah, you're not studying at all. You're just living in the language a little.
And you start meeting words naturally without even trying.
It doesn't replace active studying, but it adds up a lot.
Like going for a walk instead of the gym. Still counts as movement.
Still counts.
And, okay, this just actually happened to me. I was trying to explain all this to a friend last week.
Oh, what happened?
And I kept stopping mid-sentence going, what's the word? You should really, revise your words regularly.
You forgot the word revise while giving advice about vocabulary?
I practice what I preach, just not very well.
Honestly, that's the perfect example of why you need spaced repetition. Even words you know can slip away.
So revise regularly, everyone. Learn from my story.
Okay, so we started today with the gym. Consistency over intensity.
Small, regular workouts beat one big cramming session.
And that one idea covers everything we talked about.
Okay, should we just go through all the words real quick, like a little tour before we close?
Yeah, let's do it. Routine. Something you do regularly in the same way. I have a weekly study routine.
Revise. To go back and study something again. Not to fix it, but to review and remember it.
Highlight. To mark something so it stands out. I highlight the words I want to come back to.
Bilingual. Using two languages. A bilingual dictionary has both English and your native language.
Collocation. Words that naturally go together. Make a mistake, not do a mistake.
Mnemonic. A little trick or image that helps you remember something. Like elaborate, a science lab.
Passive vocabulary.